Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Sun.
The Rays offense has come to life in Toronto, averaging 9 runs a game in 5 contests north of the border. And tonight, Tampa Bay's bats look to remain hot against 15-game winner Jay Happ and the Blue Jays. After a 9-2 victory last night here in Toronto over the Blue Jays, the Rays are now 4-1 here at Rogers Center, and they lead the season series 7-5, preparing to wrap up this 3-game set tonight. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. So good to have you with us. Well, after last night's resounding victory, the Rays looking for a series win here tonight. And when you look at how hot Logan Forsythe is, and then you look at the young left-hander Blake Snell starting tonight for the Rays, they're feeling pretty good about their chances.
And they should. You know, Logan Forsythe has been given the American League's best pitching staff fits all season long to the tune of a .405 average and damage. As you see, 4 home runs in 9 games, 7 runs driven in. Of course, he got it started early last night off Marco Estrada going the opposite way, but even, you know, he tends to get his damage done against his team in bunches. He's got 5 multi-hit games against them, including 4 3-hit games. So Logan Forsythe, they still have not figured him out. And Blake Snell, I'll tell you what he's done since the All-Star break has been special. His last 4 starts, a perfect 2-0 record, 193 earned run average. It has been fun watching his progression. Learning how to put guys away as evidenced by his 29 strikeouts in 23 and a third innings, and also learning how to sequence, watching him put pitches together and understanding the reactions of these hitters and how to go best about getting them out.
Well, the rookie left-hander Blake Snell trying to even his season's record, and you look at the veteran 33-year-old Jay Happ, a 15-game winner. He is 15-3 against or for the Toronto Blue Jays, but against the Rays, he's had some issues, and so we'll see how it all turns out here tonight. Quick look there, the Rays will have Richie Schaefer in this starting lineup against the Blue Jays, who will be without their right fielder, Jose Bautista. Rays baseball just around the corner. tonight's Wednesday showdown is brought to you by your Tampa Bay area Mazda dealers. Another beautiful day in Toronto, a bit on the warm side. As you can see, the roof open here, and we'll be feeling the heat in the early stages of this game as the Rays and the Blue Jays wrap it up. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Rays, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Logan Forsythe to lead off, followed by Kevin Kiermaier and Evan Longoria. Brad Miller again in the cleanup spot at first base. Mikey Montook in left. Steven Souza Jr. in right. Tim Beckham is again at shortstop, hitting 7th tonight. And Richie Schaefer gets a start as the DH, hitting in front of Luke Maile, the Rays catcher.
Well, and what the Rays will be trying to do tonight is something no team has done since June. Let's see, when was that? June the 6th. That was Detroit, and that's pin a loss on Jay Happ. He's 15-3 on the season, and since that loss against the Tigers at the beginning of June, 9-0 with a 2.49 earned run average in his last 10 starts, and he has been outstanding at home, although the Rays have given him trouble this year.
So here we go with Logan Forsythe all set to step in there against him. Logan, 13 home runs this year. Opened last night's game with a homer, and he takes the first pitch upstairs. Ball 1. Game underway here. Forsythe with a home run against Jay Happ. 5 of 19 against him coming into this game, and there's a base hit headed toward the corner. Darwin Barney keeps it out of the corner, cuts it off, and thereby holding Forsythe to a single.
That was a really nice play by Darwin Barney, because off the bat that certainly looked like extra bases for Logan. Jumps all over this Happ fastball, rips it right over the head of Josh Donaldson there at third base. But Barney getting over to that and getting it back in quickly keeps Logan right there first.
And now Kevin Kiermaier steps in against the lefty. See how the Rays play it. Close at third, Donaldson, and the pitch is a strike call on the fastball.
They have fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Does a good job of mixing his pitches, although to lefties, pretty heavy with that fastball.
1-1.
Especially when he's behind in the count. But the one nice thing that he does, even between the slider and the curveball, he doesn't tip which direction he's going to go in. He gets ahead of you, and he keeps the usage of those two pitches very consistent, almost the same.
Now the bunt by Kiermaier, and a good one. Tough play for Donaldson. The throw not in time, and the Rays put the first 2 men aboard. Donaldson, after that throw, made contact with the catcher Martin. We'll take another look at that. He was a bit slow in getting up.
Now, do or die play, and really all that was, and just kind of back and got hit right in the lower back. That's what it was. But here, just a sacrifice bunt here by Kevin Kiermaier. But the burst out of the box, if he puts it in a good spot, you could see this happening time and time again. He beats it out, pure speed.
So a base hit for Kiermaier, and the Rays with 2 men on to start the game. Big opportunity early, and against Happ, good idea to cash in on it. Here's Evan Longoria. You see his career numbers, including a home run, 10 of 26, and the pitch is a little bit outside. This ball bobbled by Travis. He'll recover in time to make the play. That ball hit right to him, and he had trouble coming up with it cleanly, so the Rays advance both men into scoring position as a result.
Now that ball was hit hard. We saw the Blue Jays have trouble defensively all night last night, but that was a one hop hit hard, but bounced right up to him. He just couldn't get it done. And if he fields that ball cleanly, more than likely, that's going to be a double play, runner on third, 2 outs. Instead, you've got that 2 runners in scoring position with less than 2.
And the Rays get Brad Miller up. Carries an 8-game hitting streak into this one. A little tap, grabbed by the pitcher, and the throw to the plate is going to be in time. Forsythe trying to score on the tap back to Happ.
Well, here's the deal. What we've seen from the Rays on the base paths, especially here recently, is pure aggression. And this right here is contact. I mean, Logan Forsythe is not reading that ball. A lot of times, you know, you're down there at third base, the third base coach will tell you, hey, listen, see the ball past the pitcher's mound. Other times he's going to tell you, go on contact. And that was obviously a contact play. As soon as that ball was put into play, Logan took off, and when Happ got to it, easy out at the plate.
So Miller's at first, Kiermaier now at third, or at second. Kiermaier remained at second base.
Yeah, you're assuming, because that's where he should be, is at third.
So it's first and second, and now Mikey Matuk. The pitch is a strike to him.
You know, especially with, you know, you're taking your secondary lead if you're Kevin Kiermaier, and that ball is hit where it was. There's no way that where Jay Happ is coming in to field that, he's going to ever make a throw to third.
0-2, foul ball by Matuk.
That'll be interesting to see what he saw on that play. As we take a look at the Blue Jay defense, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we have Barney Upton Jr. and Michael Saunders across the infield third to first. Donaldson, Tulowitzki, Travis, and Smoke. The Russell Martin behind the plate.
Foul back. Well, we'll take a look at Kiermaier off second on this ball hit back to Happ.
And just froze. You didn't have much of a secondary lead and just froze. You know, the only 2 plays really that Happ had there was either come to the plate or take the out at first. It never was going to think about going to third.
Matuk fouls it out of play. Well, the Rays given a shot there on the bobble by Travis, had men second and third. Second out at the plate. Miller at first. Kiermaier still at second. Into the dirt, and it's blocked by Martin.
And that's why you want Kiermaier at third. Now, he wouldn't have scored there, but just for a pitch like this, you know, this is a great job by Russell Martin, but there's a good chance that ball gets by him too, and you got a potential run.
The 1-2 and strike 3 call, catching the outside corner. Rays threaten, lead 2, no score. the Blue Jays, wondering why Kiermaier stayed at second. And when that top half of the inning was over, he was met by Ron Porterfield and Kevin Cash on his way back to the dugout to retrieve his glove. And let's take a look at this.
Awkward slide, and you see right there, and then you see the foot, the spike kind of caught behind the bag. Watch the foot go into the ground right here, kind of catches, he comes up, just a little bit of a tweak, and maybe he was just being cautious because he didn't like the way that that felt out there.
So they met him and walked him back toward the dugout, but he remains in the game out there playing center field. And here is Travis to lead it off.
You know what you wonder is, what if Matuk goes right back up the middle with a base hit? You're going to have to go.
First pitch from Snell to Travis is a strike call. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. The Rays certainly will. The combination of Ron Porterfield and Kevin Cash. It's a ground ball, and it's past Beckham to his left. Travis aboard with a base hit to start the bottom of the inning. Rest of the lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Donaldson hitting second, Encarnacion the DH third. Russell Martin behind the plate. Troy Tulowitzki hits fifth in front of Melvin Upton Jr. Michael Saunders, Justin Smoke, and Darwin Barney completing the lineup. Bautista out with a bad knee.
Hurt himself last night on that little stumble out in right field.
He's had a number of injuries. And here's Donaldson. A ball, no strikes.
Yeah, the nagging injuries for Jose Bautista, when you think about, we've already talked about his shoulder and the arm with the throws, the toe, now the knee.
It's down as he gets that back foot out of there. 2-0, so Bautista goes on the disabled list now with the sprained left knee. Got a wide assortment of injuries.
You know, and to think too, with the production being down this year, the nagging injuries, back on the disabled list, and to think that he came into spring training and was announcing in spring training no hometown discount, going to play it out, you know, and now what kind of contract might you get?
Yeah, he had a hip flexor issue earlier, so with all of those and the diminished production, his leverage not what he had hoped. 3-0, Donaldson going for it, high pop fly, foul ball now, and Souza drops it. Souza Jr. just across the right field line appeared to be in a position to get Donaldson and get it out to come back from a 3-0 count. Didn't work out.
You know, and his eyes staying behind the glove the entire way, and that ball really just almost missed the glove, off the side of the glove. Well, you don't see that very often. Not when you're able to get there and almost camped underneath it.
It's his third error of the year. Now another foul ball, this one out of play. And the count full to Donaldson. Base hit into right. Souza with the pickup. Travis advances to second. Hits by Travis and Donaldson.
Let's take a look at that Rays defense and see how it's going to line up here tonight. Brought to you once again by Gold and Diamond Source. In the outfield, left to right, Mikey Mato, Kevin Kiermaier, and Steven Souza Jr. across the infield, third to first. Longoria, Beckham, Forsythe, and Miller. Luke Maile back behind the plate.
Edwin Encarnacion. 31 home runs, 94 runs batted in. Tops in the major leagues in runs batted in. Tied for first in the home run department. One home run away from career number 300. Takes a strike. Snell coming off his Friday outing against Minnesota, which he gave up a run in 5 1/3 and had a no decision in that one. Well, fastball fouled 0-2.
And you're going to see Blake Snell with plenty of fastballs tonight. But his secondary pitches, specifically the slider, the curveball, are going to play or should play a big role. I mean, this is a team, the Toronto Blue Jays, that have struggled against left-handed pitching, number one. They've really struggled against left-handed breaking pitches, number two. So you figure that's going to play a role here tonight. He's going to have to be good with them.
And there is strike 3 called, and he drops a nice curveball in there to get Encarnacion looking.
These guys seemingly never get off of the fastball. And you think about all the power right-handed hitters in this lineup against lefties, always looking for the heater. So they are susceptible to the off speed. And there was a curveball that was just nothing special about it. He dropped this one right into the zone. He just catches Encarnacion flat-footed and picks up the first out.
Russell Martin hitting in the cleanup spot tonight. That was a first pitch fastball for a strike. See Martin asking Clint Fagan about the location of that pitch.
It was good.
He said it was in the strike zone. Umpires can be pretty direct with answers like that. Well, last night when Kevin Cash put up the argument on that play down at first with Matuk, called for running outside the runner's lane, and at one point Rackley said, "Look, you've had your argument. We're past it. You've had your argument. We're going to go to the next pitch." Did he go? Yes, he did. Martin now down in the count. Alfonso Marquez, umpiring at first, says he offered at that pitch.
I love the follow-up. You know, we talk about learning how to sequence. The fastball down and in, that ball gets blown by you, take for a strike, and now the slider down and in. And you're thinking, out of the hand, another fastball, I got to get it started early, and all of a sudden it breaks out of the zone and you can't hold up.
Fly ball center field. Here's Kiermaier to make the catch, and the runners are going to hold at first and second. Kiermaier didn't have to range very far for that one. 2 outs. And in regard to sequencing, it seems to me, and you would know better than I would, but Snell, as a young pitcher coming in, seems to have a second nature about sequencing.
He does, and the reason that you say that is the same reason that I say that. It's what we see, and what you see is him making the smart pitch, the right pitch, not always, for a young starter, not always following what the catcher puts down. You see him shake off. You know, you go back to that at-bat against Didi Gregorius with the New York Yankees, where it was fastball, and then all of a sudden the call was for the slider. He wanted another fastball, ended up getting back to the curveball, but smart enough to recognize a hitter's reactions, his swings, and nobody wants to do that.
Now he faces Tulowitzki. Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop, a ball, no strikes.
You know, if he never shook anybody off, you wouldn't know. Is it the game plan? Is he just following what the catcher wants to do? But the fact that he shakes to the pitch and you know that it's the right pitch, that's on him.
1-1, had him out in front.
Yeah, you can envision a night where the fastball is going to be used to set up the curveball and the slider for obvious reasons, and he's been sharp with both of them here early.
In off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. A shot to left. That ball is going to be out of here. Tulowitzki turns on it, hits it out. A 3-run home run. His 19th home run of the year, and it's 3-0 Toronto.
We'll have to see the replay, but that was either a flat curveball or a slider that didn't have any depth to it. It was a breaking ball, and it broke right into the swing of Tulowitzki. Let's see what this thing is. Well, it just looks like just a flat breaking ball. Kind of rolled in there, didn't have the bite of the previous off-speed deliveries, and Tulowitzki makes him pay. Problem is, it's for 3 runs.
Here's Upton taking a pitch up. Foul out of play. 1-1. Third home run given up by Snell. The shot by Tulowitzki.
There it is. It was a slider, 83 miles an hour, and just flat, breaking right down into the swing of Tulowitzki. Didn't have the depth of the previous sliders thrown.
Three balls and a strike. Upton fouls the fastball back. The count is full. Fastball in on Upton. He fouls that one away.
Well, the toughest thing that Blake Snell's going to have to do is just plow forward. Forget about that home run. You know, he hasn't given up many. That's just the third in over 55 innings of work. It comes on the road in what can be a very tough venue to play in.
And the breaking ball misses. So he walks Upton.
Anytime you have a young pitcher that follows up a home run with a walk, concerning. That's exactly why Jim Hickey's on his way out to the mound, trying to calm him down.
Well, he's made 25 pitches here in the first. So Hickey is out there to give him a little breather, number one, following that home run and the walk. And he just missed with a couple pitches that he's not used to missing with.
No, yeah, and so you know you get a ball hit like that off you, hard. It goes for 3 runs, and all of a sudden you find yourself subconsciously starting to pick around the strike zone instead of attacking it like he did early in the inning.
with Michael Saunders. Upton back in at first. As it turns out, all of these runs are going to be unearned, but they sting nevertheless.
Yeah, you go back to the drop fly ball in foul territory. Donaldson fouled that up with a base hit into right.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down, not in time. Upton picks up his first stolen base for Toronto.
Fourth stolen base off of Blake Snell, and that one was pretty easy. And he even went with the slide step, and boy oh boy, Melvin Upton Jr. with a heck of a jump.
This one by Saunders, mid-90s. Oh, and now Upton heads to third, and by the time a look by Snell, there was no one to throw to. Longoria couldn't get over there quickly enough.
It's a byproduct of having that heavy shade on. Evan Longoria so far off the bag, and he's not really paying attention there. Looking down at his glove, actually, yeah, he just wasn't paying attention. And look at Upton Jr. saw that and knew that he could beat him to the bag. You combine the fact that he is way off of third base, where Evan Longoria is right now, not even close to the bag, and then he's looking down at his glove. And there's no way for him to get there in time.
Yeah, smart play by Upton. Pitch inside, 2-2. Ground ball, just foul. Alfonso Marquez eyeballing that one squarely on the line, and that ball just foul. Saunders, the 7th place hitter in this lineup for Toronto. He got him. Fastball strikes out Saunders. Long inning, 3-run score. We go to the second, 3-0 Toronto.
Up 3-0. Don't forget, it is a Web Wednesday, which means you can ask the announcers a question either via Twitter, use the hashtag AskRays, or email us at foxsportsun@gmail.com. Yeah, you'll be happy to know that during your there's been a response to you calling out the fans for more questions. One former season ticket holder sent 10 well thought out questions in, so we'll make sure we get one of her questions in there.
Love it.
There you go.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
it's the same with our job. Every once in a while you need to be pushed and challenged, and then you respond, and I love it.
Here is Steven Souza Jr. Buick GMC big matchup. Souza 5 of 11 with a home run off Jay Happ. 1-1 the count. Beckham next, and then Schaefer. Jay Happ, 33 years old, out of Peru, Illinois, went to Northwestern. Two, and here, beyond 30, has really found it the last year and has made himself a valuable starting pitcher, and that started when he wound up in Pittsburgh last year with Ray Searage. See, 15 wins. He was first to 15 in the American League. Rick Porcello with the Red Sox also has 15. Happ 15-3.
There was a slight tweak of his arm angle.
Yep.
And that's allowed him to get his pitches into the strike zone with a little bit more life to him, more consistently in the strike zone. It's helped his efficiency. It just made everything a little bit more sharp.
And he walks Souza Jr. You know, Ray Searage, and we talk about what a great pitching coach Jim Hickey is here and has been through the years, and one of the best. And the Pirates talk about Searage the same way. Clint Hurdle said he's the guy. You've got the guy in the neighborhood. You've got a car that's not working. You take it over to him and you leave it, and he figures out what's wrong with it. And a few days you go back, he goes, yeah, it's all good now, and it runs like a top. Hurdle said that's what Ray Searage does with pitchers. He just drops them off with them and checks with them in a few days, and they're better than new.
It's such a talent to be able to watch a guy, to see what he's doing, see what he might be able to do a little bit better. Maybe we try this, we tweak that, we shorten this up, we get you more in line, whatever it is. And to be able to do it quickly, to be able to identify those problems and get a guy. Not only do you have to identify the problem, you've then got to convince the pitcher, because a lot of them get set in their ways, and set in their mechanics and set in everything else.
I'm surprised that you would say that about pitchers. I've never noticed that before.
But but you've got to get them to buy in.
Yes, you do.
You know, I mean, you really have to get them to buy in, and that's part of the challenge. I mean, it's part of the challenge for me up here. I haven't bought into everything we want to do. I think a lot of it's hokey, and I'm not there yet. But you know what? It's a work in progress.
Well, we keep trying, and there's a guy in the neighborhood we're going to send you to. You'll say yes.
Is that KP, the kid down the street?
Swing and a miss. Beckham out on strikes on the fastball. So one out with a runner at first now. Here's a bit of trivia. I'm not into trivia, but I think this is right on Ray Searage. He spent a brief time. He didn't have a big major league career, and he spent a brief time with the Mets, I think in '81. He got one at bat. He got a hit. He had one decision he wanted, and then he was gone. I think he's the only guy to ever pitch for the Mets who hit 1,000 and has 1,000 winning percentage. Richie Schaefer fouls it back. Out of play. Strike one.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good on the trivia, and I guess a good way to go out unblemished.
Yep. So just a little bit of what was in store for him as a pitching coach, I guess, right there. Just a glimpse of excellence. 1 ball, 1 strike on Schaefer.
Well, that's like a couple of years ago when I did an interview with Ray Fosse out in Oakland. And his first question to me was, you couldn't get one more win? And it ruined the whole interview because I was a game under 500. But then Johnny O. Johnny O came back and revitalized my career by pointing out, yeah, but you were 2-1 in the postseason, playoffs, and World Series.
There you go.
So guess what?
Yeah.
I've officially become mediocre at best, and I'm happy with that.
Makes you feel really good, doesn't it?
It does. I don't feel like a loser anymore. I'm mediocre.
We just never saw you in that light. There's a line drive and a base hit to center for Schaefer. Souza Jr. goes up to second. And the Rays have a couple men on with 1 out here in the inning. 3 hits now off Happ. Well, good for Johnny O.
Yeah. Really gave me new life. Richie Schaefer, that swing lengthens the swing. You know, he's got a tendency, and he can get long with that swing, but that time it works out as he's able to reach that pitch that maybe just a little bit off the plate. And you know, right here's an opportunity to answer something that the Rays have been doing a lot more of here recently.
Well, Luke Maile, the hitter now. A ball, no strikes. Maile had a couple hits in the game last night and a run scored. Also drew a base on balls. Takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. Happ with a couple strikeouts and a walk. 3 hits allowed. Rays trying to answer the 3-run Toronto first. Fly ball right side. Smoke and Saunders after it, but it's going to fall out of the reach of Saunders.
Saunders should have just dove into somebody.
Well, you saw Souza last night just taking a header right into the stands.
You know, it was one thing to just kind of leap it, but he tattooed that guy.
Inside. 2-2. Well, here's Steven Souza Jr. And he Sousa'd that guy right
there. He did. He absolutely did. Everybody's all jacked up because football training camp has started. Games are starting ready to be played, and so he just went up high on that guy. That probably is a flag in the NFL.
Cut the miss. Maile swinging through a fastball. 3rd strikeout for Happ, out number 2 in the 2nd inning.
And the last couple of these strikeouts have come on the elevated heater. Something that he will do. That seems to be a pitch. You know, before it was everybody wanted the changeup, everybody needed a changeup. Now the elevated heater in vogue.
Well, apparently he got his release point a little higher, and so that makes that pitch good. And it prevents some other pitches maybe from flattening out.
Yeah, all about creating angles. And you know, he's tall. He's a tall, lanky lefty, and so if the arm angle is too low, everything just comes out and it's flat, and hitters see it very well. You get up a little bit higher, you're able to create some angles with the breaking stuff, with the fastball. It allows you to, like you said, ride it up a little bit higher, more depth on the breaking stuff, and finish on the change.
Two and 0 the count. Logan Forsythe taking the fastball out of the zone. Base hit his first time. 2 men on, 2 men out. And a strike, top of the zone. 2-1. Fly ball into right. Saunders will go back toward the corner and make the catch. And the Rays threaten but lead 2. Trail by 3. Bottom of the second inning. Don't miss the perfect concert for the whole family when Kids Pop Kids perform after the Rays Rangers game Sunday, August 21st at the Trop. The Trop will be the life of the party as kids 14 and under get a Raymond and DJ Kitty double bobblehead presented by Suncoast Credit Union. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. Here's Justin Smoke. Pitch is a strike at the knees. Smoke, Barney, and Travis due up. Ground ball. That's Beckham with the pickup and the throw. Smoke is out of there. Rays down 3-0 tonight. And you look at the run of great starts they've received since the All-Star break. In fact, the Rays starters have the best earned run average in the American League. And I mean, that's not even close. Almost a run.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. That is pretty incredible.
I mean, this is really what they thought they might get at the outset. And it was a combination of things. I mean, starters created some of their own problems. The defense behind them, not what everybody had hoped. So it was a combination, especially when Kiermaier went down. That was a major defensive loss. But boy, since the break, this has been what they've been looking for all year.
And that's what makes it hard to believe that with those numbers, like you said, almost a run better than anybody else in the league. The record just 500.
Yep.
12-12. And you pointed it out last night. Problems elsewhere. Continue to struggle with situational hitting. The bullpen has been off and on, more off than on here recently.
Yeah, and the bullpen, as a result of what happened in the first half, the bullpen has been under duress, it seems, all year, just trying to get straightened out, get healthy arms, get fresh arms. The Rays have used a lot of inexperienced arms out there as well.
Yep.
They've just been forced into that situation. Up the right side, that's a fair ball. Hits the low sidewall, a good care of D'Souza, but Barney's on his way to second. That's a double. Barney had really been struggling at the plate. He was 2 for his last 38 with 11 strikeouts in that stretch, and picks up a 1-out double here.
Well, swung wildly at a couple of changeups early on, and then gets a fastball that's up and away, and he's able to get up to it and keep it fair at the same time, and get in there to second base here with 1 out.
So a man in scoring position. Here's Devin Travis. One ball, no strikes. Starts to go and checks. 2-0. Travis sends it foul, out of play to make it 2-1. Travis with his base hit his first time up's now 15 of 27. He's just the opposite of what Barney had been going through. Devin Travis at the top of their order. Takes it low. 3-1. Travis out of Florida State. Originally drafted by the Tigers. Base hit into right center. That will score Barney. And it's 4-0. Every time the Rays see this young man, Devin Travis, he is swinging a hot bat. This guy can hit. And the Blue Jays try to keep him healthy. He's had a shoulder issue that's been a problem. Had some surgery on that.
Here he is, just short and quick to the baseball. Gets another fastball and goes to the open hole on the right side. As you see, Logan Forsythe was shading up the middle. That ball forces Souza Jr. to move to his right, which allows Barney to score easily.
First pitch to Donaldson is away.
Boy, it seems like after Troy Tulowitzki was able to turn around that slider, he's going away from the breaking stuff. And now it's been a lot more changeups, and he's not had good command of the changeup. He's left the curveball and the slider to go to the change.
And there's a strike.
There's another one right there.
It's 1-1. You know, he was hurt on the slider. Tulowitzki hit that one out, and then he went 3-2 to Upton, and he had a number of fastballs in that sequence, and then tried to throw the breaking ball, the curve, to him, and he walked him on it. So he had some negative experience there in the first on both the slider and the curve.
Well, that's where if you're, pitching coach Jim Hickey, Luke Maile, you've got to continue to pound it into Blake Snell's head. You've got 2 good breaking pitches, and you can't run away from them because a couple of bad things happened on it. And you see that a lot. with secondary pitches. I mean, you give up a couple of hits on a fastball. Does anybody quit throwing the fastball? Never. But you give up a couple of hits, a couple of big hits, or a walk even, whatever it may be, on some off-speed stuff, and all of a sudden you find yourself kind of shying away from those pitches.
Pitch is wide. Well, you're in the moment, and the most recent experience you had with that pitch has been bad, but somehow you've got to look at the long haul, the big picture of how good all of those pitches are. And he has 4 excellent pitches. Now a full count.
And he was not happy with himself at all on that curveball. Kind of spiked that one into the dirt. The last thing you want is a young pitcher out there fighting himself hard enough to get through a major league lineup, especially one that has as much danger as this one. You fight yourself on top of it, makes for a rough night.
Little tap. He'll go back to second. Out there, they get the lead man. Travis Force with the throw back to Forsythe.
I wonder what Logan's thinking right there, because Blake Snell, that ball wasn't hit that hard, so he came up and he's laughing about it because Blake Snell came up and threw about 95 to second base. He took nothing off this. I mean, that's a pellet. But Logan's like, yeah, easy.
Checking the stringing on the glove right now.
That's right. It's a smart move.
It's Edwin Encarnacion. Pitch is wide. Donaldson had bluffed a little start. He's got Encarnacion at the plate. Tied for the major league lead in home runs. Two and 0. Rays dropped the first game of the series 7-5, won 9-2 last night. They trail 4-0 tonight. And a big cut. 2-1. He went after the pitch up out of the zone.
Yeah, and immediately was telling himself, get the ball down. And he took his hand right off that bat. It was really trying to coach himself up, because if you're going to go up after that pitch, you are not going to reach it.
Pop up, right side foul. Miller to the railing, reaching in, just got a little piece of it, but that was it.
Boy, that close. That was very. In fact, I think that ball went right off. Like you said, Dwayne, right off the edge of the glove. Reach, reach, reach. Not long enough.
Two the count. Oh, and a balk has been called. That's going to move Donaldson up to second.
Yeah, you see that as he started to go back. Once you commit to yourself to coming set, can't stop and head back down.
Upstairs, way up. Full count now on Encarnacion.
This is the first time that we've really seen the game speed up on Blake Snell. Going to try to breathe deep, get out of this inning, slow things back down.
And he misses inside. Missed with a breaking pitch.
You know, when you've got 2 innings, 2 visits from your pitching coach, a couple of walks, a balk, you know that things in the mind of Blake Snell right now are just moving a little bit too quick.
Well, $2 dog nights presented by KM Frank's, twice the fun with $2 Pepsi fountain drinks. Double up on the deal to the Rays. Play host to the San Diego Padres. That will be Wednesday, August 17th. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com/specials. Fagan spending some time with Blake Snell. Snell charged with a balk, moving Donaldson up to second, then the walk to Encarnacion. 55 pitches through an inning and 2/3. Russell Martin takes a fastball upstairs. That's a strike. 1-1. Toronto and Baltimore atop the East. Baltimore technically in first by a couple percentage points. They're even in the games behind or games ahead, as it would be with those 2 clubs, a game and a half ahead of Boston. Upstairs, and now 3-1.
Overthrowing a little bit right now, and you can see Blake Snell really firing towards home plate, kind of pulling off of his pitches and leaving him arm side high.
And it's the 4th consecutive 3-ball count he's had. 3-1 right now. And there's ball 4. The bases are loaded. So back-to-back walks, Encarnacion and Martin. And it's going to be Tulowitzki. Tulowitzki stung him with a 3-run home run in the first.
Going down the line, snuck it right over that wall. And that's where things started to speed up a little bit on Blake Snell. And now he finds himself with that hitter back in the box and the bases juiced.
Things are going to speed up in the Rays bullpen. They'll get some action going there. And there's a foul ball down in front of the runner at third, Donaldson. Strike 1. Three in the first with 2 outs, a run home, bases loaded. And the pitch is inside. Floro up in the bullpen. Dylan Floro. Ooh, he missed a little low there. 2 balls and a strike.
A pretty good pitch, but you know what, when you've been struggling with the strike zone, falling behind a lot of 3-ball counts, the walks, not going to get those borderline pitches.
He's fouled out of play. Now 2-2. Barney doubled with 1 out. He scored on the base hit by Travis. 2 outs, bases loaded. A 4-0 game. Way high, and now full count. Looking for something extra. Missed up with it.
But just continues to overthrow. That pitch count 65 now, an inning and 2/3 in, and you can see Jim Hickey concerned for his starter. More so than anything, what's going on in the mind right now.
Three-2. Fouled away. Fastball. Yeah, a lot of pitches. 5 consecutive hitters with a variation of a 3-ball count. And another foul ball. Fastball again, and Tulowitzki fouls it away. Well, he had a 31 pitch first inning. He's made 36 pitches in the second. He forces home a run. That's his 4th walk, 3rd in a row. And here comes Kevin Cash. And that's going to be it for Blake Snell. Back in a moment. Sun brought to you by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer, celebrating 75 summers of living 4x4 ever. By Hawaii's Kona Brewing Company. By Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. When cancer strikes, strike back with CyberKnife. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. All Blue Jays so far. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Blake Snell leaves with the bases loaded. Giving up 5 runs, 2 earned, 5 hits. He's walked 4, including 3 in a row. A couple of strikeouts, and after going full up to Tulowitzki and going fastball, 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 he walked him on the changeup.
Well, and that's why you go and get him, because they're seeing the same thing that we're seeing up here. The game speeding up a little bit, lost command, lost a little bit of confidence, and there was just no end in sight. And you don't want to sit him out there and leave him out there to die, to throw just a ton of pitches to further erode any confidence. You get him out of there. Every young starter will deal with a game like this at some point. It's just how you bounce back from it.
Upton, the hitter. He pops it up right side. Miller from first is there to make the catch. So they leave him loaded, but they score 2 more runs, and it's 5-0 Toronto. Blue Jays have grabbed the early lead. Our greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile, and word from Texas. Prince Fielder retiring, 2 neck surgeries over the last 2 years. And that's going to be it for Prince Fielder. 12 big league seasons, 319 home runs. And that will be it.
How eerie. Ends up with the same number of home runs as his father.
Well, Kevin Kiermaier will open the 3rd. Kiermaier, Longoria, and Miller. Pitch is a strike.
Josh Donaldson could shake hands with Kevin Kiermaier. You see these guys a lot of times, if there's a potential bunt, you play on the cut. You look at them way in there.
1-2. Well, Kiermaier put down the bunt in the 1st inning with Forsythe at first in a sacrifice situation and beat it out for a base hit. Now with a 2-strike count, Donaldson moves back. A little tapper foul. A ball, 2 strikes. Now 2-2. Long one, but it's going to be foul. Boy, he hit that ball a long way off the facing of the upper deck there. A foul ball. And just a little bit of that one, a foul ball, so the count remains 2-2.
You know, and Kevin Kiermaier doing a nice job here of battling against J. Happ. 2 strikes, taking some pitches out of his zone. Fouling that one off was a tough pitch, forcing Happ to work here. That's what the Rays are going to have to do if they want to crawl back in this game. They've shown the ability to put up big numbers here. They got to force J. Happ to work hard.
Well, after getting down, now the count is full.
And you see the way he took that pitch, starting to recognize.
If he does that, that's the kind of development that the Rays will certainly relish. And a base hit through the right side. Fine at bat for Kiermaier to open the third. So he's aboard, 2 for 2.
Man, that's a great at bat. You're right. I mean, you fall behind 0-2, you battle, you foul off some tough pitches, you get to 3-2, got to throw a strike there, and you just hammer it in the hole. All of a sudden, you've got speed, you've got a disruptor on the base pass to start the third inning.
And he pushed Happ for a 9-pitch at bat.
Make them work. There's a lot of baseball left here in this ball game.
Well, here's Evan Longoria. Pitch is down. Well, the Rays have scored a lot of runs here. They are 4-1 against the Blue Jays here. Our cold hard facts brought to you by Clean Chris Coors Light. And in those 5 games, the Rays have averaged 9 runs a game. How about that?
How about that? Baseball can be goofy. You're talking about it. The simple fact that as far as statistics go, the Blue Jays have the best pitching staff in the American League.
And the Rays came into this series, I think, 13th in runs scored in the American League. So what do? They score 9 runs every game they play here against the Toronto staff. You figure that one out.
That's why you have to watch all the time. You just never know.
1-2 as Evan fouls it back. And they've had some success against this left-hander as well. They scored 8 runs in 2 innings off him when they faced him back in the middle of May. Up, ground ball to third. Donaldson down to second, 1. First base, 2. Well, the double play has a way of putting a damper on things.
And the turn by Donaldson, you know, he went down to a knee. How quickly he got up to get rid of that throw over there to second base to Travis. Right here, boom. I mean, he got up so quick, and they needed all of that because they get Evan by a step, maybe a half a step. Boy, good transfer. You know, and we talked about it early in the year, and it's proven itself over the course of the season. The new slide rule has allowed the double play to be turned more crisp than we've ever seen, because you don't see second basemen get flipped anymore. They're so good around the base paths, around the base now, with where they take the throw, how they take the throw. Do they push themselves towards left field and throw to first? Do they push themselves back towards right field? And with the base runner having to slide right directly into the bag and stay in contact with it, you just don't see the takeout slide anymore. And that allows these guys to stand in there and make that throw to first.
Yeah, and so insofar as accomplishing what they had hoped to accomplish, they've done that.
Yeah.
It's been successful.
Yeah.
Now, some people still like the idea of trying to break up a double play. That's going to be gone from the game.
Yep.
But in terms of accomplishing what baseball wanted to accomplish, they've done it. Miller out on strikes. Bottom of the third coming, 5-0 Blue Jays. third coming. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
So I know that I know what you think of this game so far. Not much, but
could be better.
I would say that Webb Wednesday is in the same boat. Could be better. Webb Wednesday's getting beat right now 5-0.
And it had such promise at the outset.
It did. Todd promoted. We had a season ticket holder with 10 legitimate, well thought out questions.
Yep. Michael Saunders up here, 1 strike to count to him. Dylan Floro on the hill in relief of Blake Snell. Snell gave up 5 runs, 2 earned in an inning and 2/3 tonight. There's a strike. Comes back to get the corner. 1-2. Holds at a ball and 2 strikes. Floro worked an inning here on Monday. He's a converted starter into the bullpen. And that's strike 3. Saunders tried to check, and he could not check in time. Out on strikes.
Talking an awful lot about Dylan Floro's sinker and the late action on it, and right there Michael Saunders just couldn't get to it, couldn't hold up.
Hey, let's go to Todd and see what's up.
Hey.
Yeah, Todd, what do you got?
We've had like 30 questions already, B. We're just letting the game breathe a little bit. 30 questions up here is like 42 U.S. also. So here's your first one. We have both Michelle, who asked the 10 questions, the former season ticket holder who still goes to lots of Rays games, and also Doug. They want to know about Brad Miller playing first base, and also, you know, Logan Morrison, left-hand hitter, might be back soon, playing first base. What do you guys see happening? Also, be ready because we have a Twitter question about the Olympics, so get ready for that one. Back to you.
Oh, good.
When do the Olympics start?
I'm not sure. I think next week sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is about the time that it usually goes off, so let's keep our eye on that.
Okay, 1-1 to count. Maybe next week we'll take an Olympic question then. Strike on the inside part of the plate. It's 1-2. Well, in regard to first base, I think the Rays, they're moving Miller over there. I think he's the guy. He's the first baseman.
Sure seems like it.
Yep. Smoke out on strikes, back-to-back strikeouts by Floro. So Morrison comes back. I think you're looking at maybe some DH duty, and who knows beyond that. But I think as they look toward the future, they're looking at Miller. Duffy most likely will be ready, maybe even Friday, to join the club at shortstop. Here's Barney taking a strike, and so I think what the Rays will run out there with Miller and Forsythe and Duffy and Longoria. I think right now that's what they see going forward as the infield.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think that certainly the feeling that you've gotten, the overtures that have been made, you know, you read the tea leaves, and it certainly seems that that's going to be the way that the Rays advance.
There's Beckham at short with the pickup. Oh, and the throw to first. Miller tried to reach down to grab it, and it popped away from him. And what appeared to be a 1-2-3 inning will not be that.
Now, pretty routine play right here. Beckham gets a nice hop, just kind of soft serves the throw over there right to the ground, and Brad Miller just not able to come up with it. I don't even know if this bounced, almost simultaneous, and he's not able to make that catch. Well,
that's
under construction.
Yeah, and that is a play that you want the first baseman to make.
Sure.
Travis hitting for the third time in this game here. We play in the bottom of the third. 1-0 the count to him. So an error. They charge Miller with the error. Two balls, no strikes. It's the 71st error, actually the 72nd error the Rays have committed this year. And after that miscue, a 3-0 count on Travis. There's a strike. Josh Donaldson is on deck. Line drive caught by Forsythe. Man left. We go to the fourth. 5-0 Toronto. Passion for the Rays knows no bounds. Then this Rays Infinity Scarf is just the thing for you. All fans receive the Infinity Scarf presented by Geico while supplies last when the Rays take on the Texas Rangers Saturday, August 20th. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. Well, took Souza Jr. and Beckham against Jay Happ. First pitch is a strike. One and one. Montook had an RBI single last night, was 1 for 3. Lifts a fly ball into center. Upton makes the call. One away. Now Steven Souza Jr. Fouls it back. That's a strike.
Well, you can expect Jay Happ to be very aggressive. He's going to continue to pitch. Certainly not going to be reckless, but he will be aggressive coming after this lineup with this lead. There's no question about that. So these Rays hitters have to be ready to hit.
Souza walked in the second. The one walk allowed by Happ. Check swing, comebacker. Happ with the toss to first. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, we talked about Happ's last loss, Detroit Tigers, June the 6th. 10 starts since then, 9 decisions, 9-0. And you know, when you look at his walk rate, slightly lower, but it's about the same as it's been. Where he's really jumped up is in the strikeouts, and it's been over 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's the rate in his last 10 starts.
Yeah, and in that stretch, he's had a couple of 11 strikeout performances. Strike 1 to Beckham. 4 strikeouts tonight. 2 outs into the 4th. He had 11 strikeouts against Baltimore in 7 innings 2 starts ago. And if you back it up 6 starts, he had 11 strikeouts in 7 innings against Cleveland in a 17-1 win over the Indians. Beckham struck out. He got down 1-2, and Happ got him swinging on a fastball in the 2nd inning. He's ahead of him 0-2 right now. Happ is. Did he go? Ooh, he checked. Happ thought maybe he had a strikeout there. Started to move toward the dugout.
Yeah, so did Donaldson and Tulowitzki. They were all heading to the dugout, and they probably should have just kept going right on in because that was a little too far.
Two and 2. Happ 2-3 in his career against the Rays. 0-1 this year. 2 no decisions, and then a 13-2 loss to the Rays back on the 18th of May. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Beckham down on strikes for the 2nd time. Bottom of the 4th coming up 5-0. Sun brought to you by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer, celebrating 75 summers of living 4x4ever. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Southern Chevy dealers. On to the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch to Josh Donaldson. Fastball inside. Dylan Floro has worked an inning and a third in relief. Couple of strikeouts. He made 19 pitches before that first one to Donaldson. There's a strike, 1-1.
He's been good with the sinker. Very good with the sinker. He's getting good velocity on it, 93, 94 miles an hour. And most importantly, he's keeping it down in the zone. I'm going to stop talking now as he goes up and in. I think I'm going to sit this one out, Dwayne.
Of your choosing.
Have fun.
1-2 the count, and it's upstairs. 2-2. Now the Rays with Floro, the former starter out there, who's made the switch to the bullpen, but they might be able to get a few extra outs from him with the early exit from Snell. Ground ball to short. Beckham throws out Donaldson. And the Toyota inside look on Edwin Encarnacion and where he ranks. Tied for first in the big leagues with 31 home runs. Tops in runs batted in. And the game-winning RBIs, 13 of those.
Yeah, clutch, productive. He's having a heck of a year. There's no doubt about it. The antithesis of what's going on with Jose Bautista. He's been out there and productive, where Bautista's had a hard time getting out there and a hard time being productive when he was.
Bautista placed on the disabled list before the game tonight. That's a strike. He's not happy about that one. Looks back at Clint Fagan. One and two. Big cut and a miss, and Encarnacion went up and missed that fastball for the second out.
I tell you, Dylan Floro has been impressive here in this outing, mixing his pitches. This one he climbs up into the zone. That ball stays true, and he just powers it by Encarnacion. Seen good sinkers. We saw a nifty little slider to get Donaldson on the ground out. Doing his part.
Upstairs, up and in to Martin. Russell Martin 0 for 1. He walked in the second, hit a fly ball to center in the first. One and one. So Floro now with 2 innings under his belt. He went 2 innings against Boston, 2 against Colorado, where his longest outings. He's 2-1 against Martin. Fly ball right field. Souza Jr. will go back to the track, and that ball is off the wall. Kiermaier over to play the carom. That ball continued to carry on Souza. And as the ball carried, so did Souza Jr.
Boy, he went into that wall pretty hard, too. You see a little shaken up, trying to gather himself there. This ball Yeah, it gets served out there. And here goes Souza. Ball, Souza, wall. Just came up a little bit short. You know, you think about the ball that he missed, the one in foul territory that led to the Donaldson single, and ultimately he was brought in by Tulowitzki's homer there early in the ball game. But that one right there, you know, the glove goes up and the ball's over the glove by 6 inches.
Troy Tulowitzki. Two strikes the count. Man at second base with 2 outs. 0-2 the count on Troy Tulowitzki. There is strike 3 call. Retired for the first time. We go to the 5th. 5-0 Toronto.
Toronto coming up Friday from New York. It will be the Yankees and the Rays. It will not be a game seen on Fox Sports Sun because the big station, Big Fox, has picked up that game. You can watch the pregame show beginning at 7 o'clock. Game time will be 7:35 for the Rays and the Yankees. Guys, it is Alex Rodriguez's final game as a Yankee. We have a couple of viewers wondering, do you think that'll be his final game ever as a baseball player? Do you think he may play somewhere down the road?
On to the 5th. Schaefer leads it off, and the pitch is a strike.
Well, it's been my understanding through his comments that the door has been left open. Nothing definitive. So, yeah, I could see something happen. Now, Dwayne.
0-2.
I hand it to you. No, come back.
There's always somebody who will sign anybody. There's a fly ball into right.
You just won quote of the day already.
And it's caught by Travis.
There will always be somebody who will sign anybody.
I think baseball history tells us that.
Winner. You just won. Any idea? What would be your what would be your number one team?
Sure. Yeah. Now.
Go ahead.
There you go.
Go ahead. Take out the unicorn right now.
You're just fishing right now.
Take out the unicorn.
Yeah,
just do it.
You know, and we've been such friends all these years too.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of the same team.
Oh well, there you go. Yeah, good for them. Want to know the count? There's a ground ball to short. Tulowitzki up with it.
I could tell. I could tell that you got no headway, no lead-in from Todd on what that question was going to be. Had to fight to keep you in the booth, and got the quote of the day out of it, I guess.
Well,
and you're rooting for out number 3 so bad.
Yeah, sure. 2 up, 2 down. Well,
yeah.
No, Forsythe. The Rays trying to get something going here.
2 out. Let's go.
Yeah, get a little 2-out rally going. Just the guy to do it, Logan Forsythe.
Well, he has been teeing off on this staff all season. Hit on him at the beginning of the game, coming in over 400 average with some damage, 4 home runs, still over 400 with that hit in the first. He's just been good lately. You know, he's one of those guys where the approach of Logan Forsythe it doesn't really ever change.
Quick hands.
Oh, man.
You know, that's something that you've pointed out repeatedly as well. We've watched him do that, wait on pitches. We saw him hit the ball a long way to right field, waiting, and then getting after it.
Yeah, I believe I heard it somewhere last night. I think 4 home runs to the opposite field for Logan. I mean, it's not a fluke.
3-1. There you are. Look at the home runs by direction. And he draws the walk. 2-out walk. It's Kevin Kiermaier to the plate. Kiermaier 2 for 2 tonight. And a bunt single in the first.
A really good at bat his last time up. Saw, was it 9 pitches? Was down 0-2.
Yeah,
battled back.
I think the move to have him go up here the last couple months to the number 2 spot, a great move. He can create some excitement up there, and it's one of those situations where I think if you challenge him, put him in difficult situations, he's going to figure out a way to succeed there.
He's a competitor.
Yeah.
Determined. I'll tell you what, if he's ever able to learn how also to slap the ball the other way when he's pitched away, he's going to get so many hits. If you could have seen where Josh Donaldson was, again, he was way in from the cut. He's in this area playing on him. You think about that open hole on that side with him so close that as soon as a pitcher throws something away from him, you can just slap it right by Donaldson into left field. Base hits all day long.
He checks on the pitch up. 2-2. Strikes. Ray's going to walk, leave a man. Bottom of the 5th coming up, 5-0 Toronto.
Great moment. On October 2nd, 2009, then B.J. Upton hit for the only cycle in Rays history. Upton needed only 4 at-bats. In fact, he got the cycle in the 5th inning when he singled off David Robertson. It's still the only cycle in Rays history, and there is the completion of the cycle in the 5th inning. That's where we are right now, as guess who leads off the bottom of the 5th? Back we go to Dwayne and B.A.
Melvin Upton Jr. stepping in to lead off for Toronto. Michael Saunders next, and then Justin Smoke. New pitcher is Danny Farquhar. Breaking ball to start, misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Nice job by Floro. 2 1/3. 4 strikeouts, no walks, no runs, and a hit.
I was going to say, Danny Farquhar's got a tough act to follow. He was very good.
Upton walked in the 1st inning, popped to 1st in the 2nd. And there's a base hit. Cut off by Montouk. Seventh hit for Toronto. Michael Saunders. Saunders has struck out twice tonight. The ball, no strikes. Saunders had a base hit off Farquhar here in Monday night's game. Upton back in at 1st. And again he goes to 1st. One and one to count. Now a miss to Saunders. Justin Smoke on deck. Tap right side. Forsythe with the throw to 1st. Upton moves into 2nd. Saunders out 4-3. Justin Smoke is grounded out and struck out. Strike on the foul ball. Blake Snell started, gave up 5 runs, 2 earned. That in an inning and 2/3. No runs in 2 1/3 from Floro. There goes Upton down to 3rd. He has stolen it. 2 strikes the count on Smoke. Upton stole 2nd and 3rd in the 1st, has a steal of 3rd again in the 5th.
And you know what? Not much of a walking lead there. Upton Jr. just with a great burst. Well, he's been running all over the bases here tonight. He gets over to third base here with less than 2 outs.
It's a ball and 2 strikes. And that takes care of Smoke.
All right, Dwayne, I got a little heads up on one of the questions, and I'm going to jump the gun here. I know there's 2 outs. Shouldn't do this. I'm jumping the gun anyway.
That's okay. Go ahead.
What is your favorite Olympic sport? It's going to be one of the questions, and I.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I got a heads up.
Okay, so all right, probably swimming.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then I mean, when the Olympics start next week, you got to pay attention to Michael Phelps.
I am. Yeah.
4th Olympics. He's going to be busy.
Yeah, I think he's going to do really well.
Yeah. You know, he retired. He was laying low.
Yeah.
He's got the drive back.
Yep.
I think he's gonna pull off some more gold. Yeah, I'm with you. Here's the thing. Now, what about? We'll get into it next half.
Okay, high popper. Longoria, foul territory, handles that. Something to look forward to now as we go to the 6th. Through 5, 5-0 Toronto. Gave the Blue Jays all 3 of their runs in that frame. Blake Snell touched for a couple more in the 2nd, and Jay Happ has been as good as advertised. A 15-3 record coming in. Held the Rays to 4 hits, no runs, has 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, a couple of chances early by the Rays in the 1st. You think about that play coming off the mound, throws out Forsythe at the plate. And in the 2nd, had a couple of base runners aboard, but not been much since. So anyway,
here's Evan Longoria taking a strike.
Getting back to the Olympic thing. So you're saying swimming. What would be the sport you would most like to participate in?
In the summer or winter?
Summer.
Oh, summer. Well, you know, you'd have no chance in any of them, but just for fun.
Yeah,
just for fun.
Just for fun.
Do they still have fencing?
They do. There's fencing. Absolutely.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah. You could put that to use.
Yeah.
Back in medieval times.
Yep, that could be fun.
All right.
So that would be good. How about you?
Well, mine will be short and quick. I was always the track and field guy.
Yep.
And I, you know, I mean, what's better than the 100-yard dash? Those guys just go.
Yeah.
I mean, now. Imagine training your whole life and it comes down to like 9.5 seconds.
Yeah. And then you're splitting seconds.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Right down the line.
There's one down the line. A foul ball, however, deep off the bat of Longoria, and the count's still 2-2.
And as far as playing, and this is one of the great regrets looking back on things, but in 1992, I played on the Olympic baseball team.
Yep.
And think about Olympic baseball, and it's actually coming back in 2020. It's not part of it anymore, but it was a case where only 20 men went. 25-man roster, and professional and all that, but 20-man roster in baseball. And so I spent the summer with Team USA. We went to Cuba, went to Holguin, played down there. Traveled the country. We would play before big league games, and it was a 25-man roster.
Yep.
And then before the team went to Barcelona, 5 have to be left behind. I was one of the 5.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Ground ball to third. Donaldson, long throw, and it's right on the money. Yeah, that has to be really tough.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Because you're in fact, one of the cool things is when we came back from Cuba, I got to start against the Cuban national team in Mile High Stadium on the 4th of July, and there was 65,000 people.
Yeah, you
I've never pitched in front of more people ever.
Easy.
Yeah, it was a zoo. It was one of the high. You could actually physically feel the rubber beneath your feet moving, rumbling when the fans would get going. Those bleacher seats that everybody would start stomping. What a venue. But anyway, yeah, that was not fun, but that's the way it goes.
Yep. It's a great honor to participate as you did, and what mixed emotion that is to be a part of that, and then not make that final group. 5 left.
Yeah, it's funny too because it was like a preferred walk-on is what I was. They could invite like 40 guys, and then they would ask other guys, "Hey, we'd like you to come down." You'd have to go down to the walk-on tryouts, and there were a couple hundred of us in this walk-on deal, and it ended up that 2 from that ended up on the 25-man roster, and the other one was Nomar Garciaparra, who actually made the team. He was a true freshman at Georgia Tech, and that was a year that in 1992 at the sophomore and junior levels, you had a lot of really good shortstops, and so as a true freshman, for him to step in there like he did, that was big time.
Ooh, strike 3. Miller called out on strikes. So 2 really good guys were involved in that, you and Nomar.
Well,
yeah.
Speak for Nomar.
Well, no, we kind of like you too.
Every now and then.
Yeah, of course.
So what would it be? Winter Olympics. Mine's real easy for winter.
Really?
Yeah, watching and playing. Real easy.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Downhill skiing.
Short tracks, speed skating.
Oh, really?
No, hockey. It begins and ends with hockey.
Yeah.
Olympic hockey.
Yeah, hockey
is the greatest.
Yeah, it is great. It's great from a spectator point of view. 2-0. I'm just thinking about that. Do they have the snowshoe hike marathon?
Where you shoot too.
Yeah, you can shoot.
Yeah,
see, that'd be good.
Yeah, biathlon.
Yeah, see, that'd be fun,
right?
Yeah, we could do that.
That's functional. You could put that to use in real life situations.
Oh, the snowshoe hiking, we did put that to use last winter.
Did you shoot anything?
I got the guy who hoodwinked me into doing that, hiking up the mountain in snowshoes.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, it's going to be a short little trek. Yeah, right. But
slow moving.
If you do that and you get through it, you feel really good about doing it.
High five yourself type of deal.
Yeah, you're going, are you kidding me? I survived this? Down to third. Donaldson and Smoke. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the 6th coming up. to the bottom of the 6th. And here's what's coming up Saturday on Rays Live. Pre-game show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We'll hear from Matt Andrees, who'll be on the mound, and Todd Callis will have a sit-down with Matt Duffy.
So not to beat a dead horse here, the snowshoes, you can't move really quick. It's a slow trek, right?
It is. I found it's a lot better if you take off your jacket and take baby steps up the mountain.
Do the work. Baby step it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's it. 1-1. Yeah, we had a friendship that was really tested that day. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
But like you said, the sense of accomplishment.
Yeah,
at
but
the
if
end.
you make it, you go, yay, I've survived, number 1. And then you go, wow, we really did that.
What do you think Todd's Olympic event would be?
We should, I don't know if we should ask him or not, but there are lots of things that he could do.
I'm thinking along the realm of gymnastics, where he would specialize in the pommel horse.
Yep, that could work.
That's what I'm thinking.
There's ball 3. I don't know what Todd would think about what he should be doing in the Olympics. We've already discussed that for us.
I'm going to go beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball.
Oh,
Summertime and luge in the winter.
Luge.
Oh, I mean, that's him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Luge is fun to watch.
He's right on. Travis out on strikes here for the first out in the bottom of the 6th. I could see Todd in both those environments. It just makes perfect sense.
And think about a guy who does the luge. His entire sports being revolves around him pointing his toes. That's it.
Yeah.
You point your toes.
Yeah.
And you're a world-class athlete. It's an amazing thing. I love it.
Yep. I mean, there was no hesitation about Todd about what he wanted to do in the Olympics.
No. Beach volleyball, here's the thing. Does he go sans shirt or does he wear the shirt? I'm saying he's got USA spray painted on his chest and he just lets it fly. I mean, we saw it at the pool in Arizona. He's not afraid to show it off.
No, he's not.
So yeah, I think he wears a USA headband and he goes to work.
Yep. And if it turns chilly, he's prepared. 3-0 the count.
They'll have to cut away to something else because it'll get weird out there. That's an image I'm never going to get out of my head, Dwayne. Thanks. I just am envisioning Todd in his glory playing beach volleyball, a cool afternoon. I'm having trouble.
It's 3-1. Ground ball to third. Longoria tosses it across to first.
The one saving grace, though, is the sweater.
You have the sweater.
He's got the Angora sweater on.
Hey, there's the headband. He's got that going. Yeah.
Oh, my good Lord. Oh.
Yeah. Our official Olympic coverage continues. Two outs here with the bases empty in the bottom of the 6th.
Why does it feel
Inside.
like? Why does it feel like we're in Oakland?
It's not even late enough yet.
I know. This is what we're all getting emails tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Maybe phone calls.
2-0. We're not going to get into New York till it's really late, so leave the phones off the hook. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Outside of third, foul. Farquhar, the third Rays pitcher. Snell, an inning and 2/3. 2-2. Encarnacion has a couple strikeouts and a walk in between. Sitting on 31 home runs and 94 runs batted in. Well, Farquhar goes to 3-2 on him. Russell Martin on deck. And ball 4 is low. He walks for the second time. Russell Martin has gone out to center with a fly ball since, has walked and doubled. It's a breaking ball that got Martin. Hit him with a curveball.
It's kind of a backup curveball right here. Russell Martin kind of wheeling around. A little spin, took it right on the back of that left leg.
So with 2 outs, a walk and a hit batter gets Tulowitzki to the plate. Hit a 3-run homer in the first, walked with the bases loaded in the second. Called out on strikes with a man at second in the fourth. Now 2 men on, 2 men out this time around. And he had a little piece of that one, a foul ball, strike 1. This one gets a bit of melee on the foul ball. 2 strikes the count on Tulowitzki. Garten up in the bullpen now. One ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. Bullpen covering some innings tonight with Blake Snell, an abbreviated inning and 2/3 start. Hot shot foul. Ball the other way, out of play. Holding the count at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Shot foul.
How in the world did he get to that? Quite the battle going on here between Tulowitzki and Farquhar.
Now it's down. Full count.
Everybody off and running here. Quick little meeting, what they want to do.
It's been all Toronto tonight. Up by 5. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Hit in the right. Encarnacion heads to the plate. Throw's not going to be in time. Tulowitzki driving in his 5th run of the night. They have 6 runs. He's driven in 5 of them.
Well, and all of this with 2 outs. 2 quick outs, a walk to Encarnacion. He hits Russell Martin with a breaking ball. And then Tulowitzki, that fastball, outer third. Good plate coverage. Not a lot of wasted movement there. And he adds to the lead. Plenty of room to work with 2.
Will depart after giving up the run-scoring base hit. Back to the new pitcher in a moment. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer, celebrating 75 summers of living 4x4 ever. By LRE, specializing in concrete releveling, soil stabilization, and restoration services since 1989. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Bottom half of inning 6. Ryan Garten will be the new pitcher, the 4th of the night for the Rays. And he'll face Upton. 19th appearance for Garten in his 3rd stint with the Rays this year. And the fastball is by Upton. Garten gave up his first career home run in Sunday's game in the Minnesota series. Miguel Sano hit one off him. Sano had a great series against the Rays. Upton lifts it into right toward the line. That's Souza Jr. making the catch. Blue Jays had a run. We go to the 7th. 6-0 Toronto. Mazda dealers. We go to the 7th inning. Jay Happ gone after working the front 6. Good again tonight.
Well, yeah, he was. You know, the Rays had an opportunity. Logan Forsythe thrown out at the plate in the 1st inning, had a couple runners on in the 2nd with an opportunity. Nothing to show for either one of those. And then after the 2nd inning, 1 base runner. 1 base runner, that was a walk to Logan Forsythe. And, you know, Jay Happ really settled in nicely. He was given a lead to work with early on, and he's just continued that very, very good, you know, string that he's been on. That's now 11 straight starts. He's in line for the 10th win of those 11 starts, and that ERA of 2.5 is going to be dropping.
Joe Biagini is the new pitcher. He worked an inning and 2/3 in the first game of this series. And Steven Souza Jr. leads off against him. Strike 1. Beckham will be next, and then Schaefer. Oh, 2.
Yeah. How about that little yacker? He powers the fastball by him, comes in with a nice curveball. He's done a nice job coming out of the bullpen for John Gibbons.
Upstairs, 1 and 2. Biagini originally in the San Francisco Giants organization. And Toronto picked him out of the Rule 5 draft, so occasionally that really works out well. Saunders going back in right center in front of the track, and Souza is the first out in the 7th.
It is pretty amazing, and the job that he's done. You know, I mean, we're now talking 46 and 2/3 innings, an ERA that's barely over 2. He's been getting more and more important innings for this Blue Jay team. Already has a strong pitching staff.
Tim Beckham has twice struck out tonight. Pitch is upstairs, 1-0. 2-1.
Now, you look at his games, Dwayne, and in the 6th inning he's been used 10 times. The 7th now 16 times. 8th inning 14 times. So he's starting to work towards the back end of that bullpen.
2-1. He had been a starting pitcher in the minor leagues. And 1, and in his minor league career he had fared better against left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching, and it's the other way around right now, but still pretty close to even. He's done a nice job out of their bullpen. He picks up a strike to Beckham and the count is full. Beckham getting time called. Eugenie just recently, within the last couple of months, turned 26. It's interesting, you know, how you find pitchers like this. He was, you know, pitching last year. He's 24, 25, turned 25, pitching Double-A baseball.
Yeah.
And the Blue Jays plucked them in the Rule 5 draft.
Yeah, you get scouts out there, you know, eyes in the field that are out there, and they see this guy and they say, hey, listen, you know what, there's something to this. And we think that his stuff can play, especially in a limited role. How about that right there? Nasty little slide ball at 91. And so you envision that, you take a shot at him in the Rule 5 and see if he sticks. Well, you know what, he's been pretty doggone good.
Yep. And you know, while he's worked his way toward the back end of games, he still picked up some innings to help your staff give you quality innings when you need them in the middle.
Yeah. Bridge the gap.
Yep.
How do you get the game from starter to Osuna? That's it.
Yep.
It's really that simple, you know. And there have been some guys in that role for the Blue Jays that have struggled. You know, Brett Cecil not having the type of year that, you know, the Blue Jays would have expected or wanted. Same with him. And so you've got to find guys.
Oh, there's a fair ball off the bat of Schaefer. And a fan reaching over. That's going to be 2 bases. So Schaefer, who had singled in the 2nd inning, gets a double here in the 7th.
And jumped all over that pitch and kept it fair. That ball got hammered.
And a Rays fan grabbed that one.
Going to be shown the exit.
That'll be Luke Maile. Strike call. Maile has struck out and grounded out. Pretty close. That pitch up a bit. It's 1-1. It's Brett Cecil up in the bullpen. Six-run game right now in the 7th. Two and one. Forsythe is on deck if Maile could keep the inning going. Rays have had just 5 hits tonight, no runs so far. Strike at the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, that was a really good job and a great shot right there. That center field camera driving that pitch downhill at 95 miles an hour. Oh, look at the angle that's created. That is what you can do with that pitch.
Up the right side, driven foul. Count is still 2-2. That one out of play. Rays getting Schaefer to second on the 2-out double. First time they've had a man at second since the second inning. Mailey's out on strikes. Middle of the 7th, 6-0 Toronto. First couple innings for the Rays. Blue Jays scoring 3 in the first, adding 2 in the second. They got a run in the 6th, and it's been all Toronto tonight. 6-8-0 for the Blue Jays, 0-5-2 for the Rays. Jay Happ making his 23rd start, 6 scoreless innings. Troy Tulowitzki capped the first inning with that 3-run home run. Bottom of the 7th inning. Ryan Garton on the hill for the Rays to face Michael Saunders. Saunders, Smoke, and Barney due up. Saunders fouls it back. He's 0 for 3 tonight. A tough run since the All-Star break for Saunders. Pitch left up. Out of the zone, 1-1. Coming into this game, Saunders hitting just over 160 since the All-Star break. After a great start. Garton misses low. Garton came on, got the last out in the 6th. Two and two.
You know, these are the outings for Rays relievers now and going forward. It's basically an audition. you know that this bullpen is going to be rebuilt coming up for the next season. And so everybody right now with an opportunity to impress.
Garton strikes out Saunders. 1 out. We'll check with Todd Callis one more time. Todd?
All right, guys, I'm going to try and impress right here. We've got a Web Wednesday question for you that's going to involve small ball. With Matt Duffy joining the team over the weekend, Kevin Kiermaier near the top of the lineup, a couple of fans want to know if you think we'll see more small ball out of the Rays offense. Also, before we throw it back to you, I know BA has already crowned Dwayne with the line of the night, but a couple of fans said BA deserves to be the champion for the line of the series when talking about the over-enthusiastic Jays fans, saying this is like having a stadium full of me, and it's annoying. Guys, back to you.
Self-deprecating humor. Oh, a long one by Smoke. That sends Souza Jr. back to the wall, and it's gone. Justin Smoke hits his 13th home run of the year.
Now it's been all Blue Jays all night long, and they continue to tack on runs here and there. And Justin Smoke, well, this was a majestic shot. Lifted it high and deep out into right center field and dropped it on the wrong side of the wall.
$7-0 now. Jumping in to Darwin Barney. So the second home run given up by Garton. He gave up his first home run on the homestand in the Minnesota series when Sano hit one off him.
I think going back to Todd's question, I think you're going to see more of that. I think we already have seen more.
Yes, we have seen it already.
Yeah. We've seen Kevin Kiermaier be more active on the base paths. We've seen him lay down more bunts. Other guys laying down bunts, trying to move runners.
Well, that's and that's a great question. I mean, fans have an emotional, if nothing else, an emotional investment in this club. That's a great question because the offense for most of the year had been pretty one-dimensional, and I think it needs to get creative because you're not going to hit home runs all the time. And what the Rays have done, they've hit a ton of solo home runs, and that just doesn't get the job done. Up the right side, look into the stands. What an attempt. That's a great effort down there.
Oh my gosh.
Well, he saw Souza go in earlier in the series, and now he's going to do a backflip into the stands.
What an effort.
Ground ball for Beckham. Throw to first is there. 2 gone. We'll take another look. Souza's only got a couple innings to try to top this.
I've never seen that before.
You see something new every game. And a great effort right there. Saw Souza flying in there after a ball the other night.
Yeah, the only difference is and it wasn't that close, but the ball boy had an actual shot. Souza just dove into the guy. He took a 15-yard header right into the guy.
Well, let's do a comparison.
Ball not even in the picture. I'm telling you.
And here's the ball boy.
Yeah, I mean, a little more dangerous there. They were both pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sense of going in back first and wondering what's going to hit, where am I going to I mean, that's got to be unnerving.
Yeah.
And Souza going high up on that guy, targeting. He could have ejected him for that.
2-2. Cut and a miss. Travis out on strikes. A run on the home run. We go to the 8th. 7-0 Blue Jays. The veteran right-hander Jason Grilli, 1 inning for Biagini, a couple of strikeouts and 1 hit, no runs, and now it's Grilli making his 46th appearance.
You can see the numbers there, racking up a ton of strikeouts and holding opponents' batting average under 200.
Ceciliani is out there in right field now. And the first pitch to Forsythe is a strike call. And 1. Really worked the 8th inning, a 1-2-3 inning Monday night. They got Franklin, Souza Jr. and Beckham. Top of the order now, Forsythe, Kiermaier, and Longoria. One and 2. Jepson up in the bullpen for the Rays. Upstairs, 2-2.
That looked like a pretty good pitch. In the body language of Jason Grilli said that he thought that was strike 3.
Fastball fought off, fouled. We're now in the 8th. Rays left 2 men on in the first. They left 2 men on in the 2nd inning. Since then, they've had a hit in the 3rd, a walk in the 5th, and a 2-out double in the 7th. Back to the mound. Really to smoke. That's the first out. Kevin Kiermaier's 2 for 3. Really gets out ahead of him. A strike. Oh, 2. Really, like Biagini before him, started his pro career in the Giants organization, but that was a long time ago. Ground ball, right side. Kiermaier's the second out. Travis takes care of that. Really, most recently with the Braves before coming to the Blue Jays. Evan Longoria 0 for 3 tonight. It's popped up. Down from third, Donaldson, foul ball. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. 7-0. You can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app and take Fox Sports Sun and Rays baseball with you wherever you go. Rays will again dip into the bullpen. Kevin Jepson, the 4th reliever, 5th pitcher of the night. Garten worked an inning and a third, gave up a run on the home run, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, 45th appearance for Jepson. Josh Donaldson leads it off. Encarnacion and Martin to follow. And here's his first pitch strike. Cut the foul ball. Jepson last worked Sunday against the Twins. He pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 unearned run with a strikeout and a walk.
Well, we've seen him the last couple of outings, trying to get that curveball back where he wants it. Seen him spike some. We've seen him hang a couple, and trying to make the adjustment. There was a better one right there. That's a good chase curveball. And I don't think he was really happy with the way that pitch was coming out of his hands, so he started to resort to the changeup. Trying to figure out what works on that given day and go with it. But the curveball is a big pitch for Kevin.
Now it's 2-2. Pitch wound up and Donaldson could not check, so he's out on strikes. 1 away here in the 8th. Rays will be heading into New York. They'll open the series Friday. It'll be Archer and Sabathia and Grease Saturday afternoon against Tanaka, and then Odorizzi pitching the Sunday game against Severino. Edwin Encarnacion. High pop-up foul. Luke Maile makes the catch. A mile high off the bat of Encarnacion. Two gone. Here's Russell Martin. Ryan Tepera up in the bullpen for Toronto. Tapper foul. Martin had a hit in the 4th inning when he picked up a 2-out double. He's been hit by a pitch and has walked. Oh, 2.
Russell Martin, his head just snapped back there like, you called that a strike?
There was another pitch early like that.
Yeah.
That he didn't like, and he probably had a good argument.
I think that was the down and in pitch. So he's been burnt on both ends of the strike zone.
Jumps it up a little bit more. 1-2. And a cut and a miss. He's out on strikes. Went after the pitch up. 1-2-3. Go the Blue Jays. On to the 9th inning. 7-0 Toronto. Phillies with 5 hits tonight. Most of the damage came in the early part of this game. Blue Jays scored 3 in the first and 2 in the second inning. And Ryan Tepera, who is making his 6th stint, will also make his 6th appearance for the Blue Jays tonight.
Not a good sign.
4 2/3 innings. Now 6 different stints with the Blue Jays.
Yeah, he's got to be the one guy that dreads getting his name called to come into a game, because it's one stint with the team, 1 appearance. So enjoy it, and then we'll see you in Buffalo.
Here's Brad Miller. The pitch is a strike. Brad 0 for 3 tonight, a couple strikeouts. Came in with an 8-game hitting streak. Fouled out of play.
He appeared in 32 games for the Blue Jays a year ago, in 15. The Rays have seen him.
28-year-old right-hander. The foul ball lifted down the left side, and that's headed for the stands. Too close. Mikey Montauk on deck. And a bouncer into the stands. And strike 3 call on the pitch in. That's the first out in the 9th inning.
That late little comeback action, you know, that's after a couple of breaking balls in off the plate. Set up that pitch right there that gets Miller. The guy that had the ball down there, Dwayne.
Yeah.
That was like an umpire pullover.
Yeah, had an umpire shirt on.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. He was the guy a couple innings ago when Miller was trying to catch that foul ball, was all over him. And now Miller hits that little foul ball, and he comes up with the souvenir.
I think he just rang him up again, too, from the front seat. Someone ought to go there and set that guy straight. Hey, listen, you're not an umpire. You're not an umpire.
Yeah.
Watch the game. Get your head out of the dugout.
Ground ball to short. Tulowitzki's throw to first. So 2 up, 2 down in the 9th. Rays down to their final out with Steven Souza Jr. headed to the plate. Well, Jay Happ is an out away from winning his 16th game of the year. Souza 0 for 2 with a walk. Takes a strike. There's a popper on the right side. That's caught by Travis, and the game is over. The Rays go up and down 1-2-3 in the ninth. And the Blue Jays shut out the Rays tonight 7-0. Baltimore lost to Oakland earlier. So the Blue Jays take over first place alone in the AL East. 7-9-0 for Toronto, 9 left, 0-5-2, 6 left for the Rays. Half the winner, Snell the loser. 3 hours and a minute to play it. For Brian Anderson, Todd Callis, and the rest of our crew, hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers, is next.